Legend of Yufei Chapter 46.
Okay, let's dive in. Let's start with Qin Hui and Wang Shi's initial circumstances, which were pretty grim.
Grim is putting it mildly. It's a harsh beginning. So, Qin Hui, he was a former Song dynasty official, as Wang Wen basically the top scholar of his time.
Right.
He and his wife, Wang Shi, were among countless people captured by the Jin. Now, many of their fellow ministers died or were killed during this conflict.
A brutal time.
Absolutely. But Qin Hui, maybe through sheer will or perhaps just desperation, managed to plead for his life again and again. That determination is clear right from the start.
And their situation just gets worse, doesn't it? The sources paint this really stark picture. The Jin leader, this old wolf lord, he didn't just imprison Qin Hui.
No, not at all. He relegated Qin Hui to the remote Helan Mountain, forced him to be a stable hand.
A sable hand, caring for horses.
Yep, caring for horses alongside Jin soldiers. For a top scholar, I mean, you can just imagine the fall from grace.
It's hard to fathom, and the conditions.
Terrible. The account says that after the stable hand overseeing Qin Hui died, he and Wang Shi were basically just abandoned, adrift.
Left completely on their own.
Pretty much. Living in this dilapidated cowhide tent with no proper way to get food, let alone prepare it, utterly destitute.
So in that kind of situation, how on earth did they survive? The story really emphasizes Wang Shi's role here, her resourcefulness.
It absolutely does. She's described as hook or beautiful, and her ingenuity seems to have been their lifeline.
How so?
She earned what little they had by sewing and washing clothes for those same Jin soldiers, the gain.
Okay, so she's working for their captors just to get by.
Yes, but the text adds this darker, more complex layer. It explicitly states, let me find the phrase. It basically translates to, there were also those Jin soldiers who became entangled with her, sending her some beef and mutton, getting by chaotically day to day.
Wow. So it's implying she used her looks or charm, maybe.
It certainly suggests she used whatever means necessary to secure food and necessities. It's a really stark picture of survival in desperate times, the morally gray areas they inhabited.
That definitely sets the stage for the next dramatic turn, because it's right at this low point that fate, or just pure chance, steps in.
Exactly. And this is where the Jin prince and general Wuzu enters the story.
Right, Wuzu. The text describes him as a hero not usually fond of women, which is an interesting detail.
It is. So one day he's feeling restless in his palace, decides to go hunting near Helan Mountain with his entourage. A pretty normal day for a prince, you'd think.
But this hunt changes everything.
Completely. It's the absolute turning point. As Wuzu is about to head back, he spots a woman dressed in southern clothes, a Guangxi.
Wang Shi, yes. She's trying to hide in the woods while gathering firewood. Her clothes would have instantly marked her as a southerner, a Song captive.
And what happens next is, well, unexpected, given Wuzu's supposed lack of interest in women. Totally unexpected. His men bring her out, and Wuzu is immediately struck by her beauty. The text gets quite poetic. Star-like eyes with dew, charming eyes full of affection.
Poetic, yes.
And despite his usual attitude, it says his body went half numb. He was clearly captivated.
So he just orders her brought back to his palace.
Instantly. For questioning. It's amazing, really. One chance sighting shifts their entire world from, near starvation to the general's palace.
And Wang Shi, facing this powerful Jin general, how does she react?
Well, the text says she was trembling, naturally, but she showed incredible quick thinking. She immediately identifies herself as the wife of Qin Hui.
Ah, playing the scholar card.
Exactly. She names him as a Song Zhuangyun, that top scholar status again. It explains their situation, how they ended up there after the two Song emperors were moved to Wugucheng.
So it wasn't just a plea for mercy. It feels more like a strategic move, hinting at the value her husband might represent.
Precisely. And Wuzu's reaction, he's overjoyed. He actually exclaims this famous phrase, "Tas for so."
Which means?
Roughly, you can wear out iron shoes searching for something, only to find it effortlessly by chance. He'd apparently been looking for Qin Hui.
Looking for him. Why?
Because of his reputation for talent and scholarship, Wuzu wanted his intellect.
So this chance meeting, it completely flips their status.
Instantly. Wuzu treats Wang Shi with honor, summons Qin Hui not as a captive, but as a guest, offers him a seat.
And declares him essential.
Yes, as a strategist or advisor because of his great talent. It really shows how pragmatic the Jin leadership could be, using enemy intelligence when it suited them.
Okay, but then the story takes another very personal and controversial turn.
It does. This is probably the most debated part. The text says Wu Zu then took Wang Shi's hand and went to the back rooms, consummating their relationship.
Wow. Just states it like that.
And it adds that Wang Shi, for her part, was very happy with Wu Zu's bravery or manliness.
That's quite something.
Yeah.
And Qin Hui, what's his reaction to this?
The text is chillingly brief on that. It says, he closed one eye and opened the other, pretending not to know.
He just ignores it. What does that tell us? Is it purely survival, or is ambition already twisting his moral compass here?
That's a million-dollar question, isn't it? It highlights this incredibly complex moral landscape, survival, power dynamics, maybe personal gain. It's all mixed up.
And what happens immediately after this? Arrangement.
Their lives transform. They're given a richly furnished study, lavish daily supplies of oxen wine, money. Wang Shi visits Wu Zu frequently, and Qin Hui accepts it.
It sounds like a calculated bargain. His silence, maybe even complicity, in exchange for status and comfort.
It certainly reads that way. A chilling picture of complicity, maybe seeing this as a necessary step towards some larger goal.
And this arrangement lasts for a while.
For over a year, they lived comfortably under Wu Zu's patronage. Gifts, money, a life totally different from the stable and the cowhide tent.
And then Wu Zu makes another surprising move.
He does. One day, he asks Qin Hui if they want to return home, back to the Song territory. Maybe testing them, maybe genuinely believing in their, well, usefulness.
How does Qin Hui respond?
Initially, he sort of feigns contentment, says, oh, we're treated so well here, why leave? But then he pivots, admits a desire to go back to worship his ancestors' graves, frames it as a huge favor Wu Zu could grant.
Smooth, and Wu Zu agrees.
Astonishingly, yes, but with a key condition.
Which is?
They need a decree from the two captive Song emperors back in Wugujiang. They need the emperor's permission to pass through the Central Plains.
That's a significant hurdle, and also perhaps a way for Wu Zu to see if Qin Hui actually has influence with the captive emperors.
Could be. It adds another layer. And the parting between Wu Zu and Wang Shi, the text says it was very reluctant.
Really? There was genuine feeling there.
It seems so. Wu Zu even swears that if he conquers the Central Plains, he'll make Wang Shi, his stud, a noble consort.
Whoa, okay, so this relationship was significant. It wasn't just a brief fling or purely transactional, maybe?
The text portrays it with some depth, yeah. It definitely raises the stakes for everyone involved.
So with Wu Zu's blessing and this complicated personal dynamic hanging in the air, Qin Hui heads off to Wugujiang.
Right. He travels to meet the two imprisoned Song emperors, pays his respects.
He gets the decree.
He does. The emperors provide the requested document, giving him the pass he needs.
Okay, so he returns to Wu Zu, mission accomplished.
And it's not just a quick thanks and goodbye. Wu Zu throws a grand banquet. The next day, he personally leads his officials to escort Qin Hui and Wang Shi for miles.
A huge send-off.
Absolutely. Setting up camps every 30 to 50, that's a Chinese unit of distance, maybe 10, 15 miles per camp. It's a massive display of honor.
And this elaborate farewell leads to the most chilling moment of all.
It really does. Near a place called Luzu, Wu Zu holds a final farewell banquet. He asks Qin Hui not to forget him if he gains power back in Song territory.
And Qin Hui's response?
This is where he makes that truly shocking vow. He says, let me get the essence. May heaven above and earth below bear witness. If I, Qin Hui, forget the Wolf Lord's grace and fail to deliver the Song dynasty's rivers and mountains to the Wolf Lord, may I die of a carbuncle on my back.
A carbuncle on his back.
Wow.
That is incredibly specific and gruesome.
It is. It's a visceral, self-imposed curse. This moment just lays bare his intentions. He's promising to betray his entire country.
What does Wu Zu make of this extreme oath?
Interestingly, Wu Zu kind of dismisses the seriousness of the curse itself, but promises his full support for Qin Hui's future rise in the Song court, essentially sealing their treacherous pact.
So, with that dark promise made, Qin Hui and Wang Shi finally depart.
Yes, they head south, eventually reach a Song checkpoint, explain their story, show the emperor's decree, and are escorted all the way back to Linen, the Song capital.
And upon arrival in Linen, Emperor Gaozong wants to see him immediately.
Right away. Swiftly summoned to the Golden Imperial Hall.
And Qin Hui presents the decree from the captive emperors.
He does, and Gaozong is eager to accept it. It validates Qin Hui's story, or the story Qin Hui is telling of enduring hardship alongside the emperors, remaining loyal.
A narrative that Gaozong probably wanted to believe.
Very likely. He was very pleased. The text says Gaozong believed Qin Hui had protected the two emperors for many years, remaining loyal through hardship.
And based on this belief,
Immediate promotion. Qin Hui is appointed Qino, Minister of Rights, a very senior position.
just like that. And Wang Shi,
She gets a title too. Hui's second-ranked lady. This all happens in the early autumn of Shaoxing Year 4. It's an incredibly rapid ascent back into power.
but there's a huge irony here, isn't there? Pointed out by the text itself.
A massive irony. A poem included right after this comments on Gaozong's own character, his inherent desire for peaceful ease, his tendency towards complacency.
Wanting an easy life, essentially.
Right, and how this allowed treacherous officials like Qin Hui presumably to rise. The poem blames this for the fragmentation of the land and the emperors staying captive.
So Gaozong's quick acceptance wasn't necessarily shrewd judgment. It was maybe driven by his own desire for, I don't know, good news, stability, ignorance.
It suggests his acceptance was influenced more by wanting things to seem okay, wanting information about his family, rather than any deep investigation into how Qin Hui actually got back or what promises he might have made. He took the easy, convenient answer.
It's a stark picture. And just as Qin Hui is making this ethically dubious comeback,
Yeah.
the story gives us a counterpoint, right? A reminder of a different kind of official.
Exactly. The text briefly introduces Grand Marshal Wang Yuan. He serves as this powerful contrast.
How so?
Wang Yuan is described as being over 90 years old. Yeah, but still, loyal and dedicated, safeguarding the nation. He's shown actively preparing for a major military ceremony and troop drill.
So while the court is welcoming back someone who just swore to betray the empire,
You have this incredibly old, steadfast marshal embodying unwavering duty and service. It's a deliberate juxtaposition, showing that loyalty and integrity still existed, even amidst the maneuvering and compromise.
it's a really important detail to include. It shows not everyone was like Qin Hui.
Absolutely. It adds that necessary balance, that complexity to the court politics of the time.
Marshal Wang Yuan taking attendance. But two key generals are, well, conspicuously absent. Provocatively absent, you could say. Left Commander Miao Fu and Right Commander Lu Zhengyan. And when a messenger brings their excuse, it's a bold one. They claim the emperor himself sent them hunting in the Western Mountains.
And that absence, it's not just missing roll call, is it? It's what it signals to someone like Marshal Wang Yuan. It's a direct challenge, maybe thinly veiled, but a challenge to his authority. And he's not the type to just let that stand.
Yeah.
So he finds them later. The text says they're drunk and tipsy, coming back from this supposed hunt near Zongan Bridge. He calls them over right there in the street, chews them out publicly. Basically says, you claimed the emperor sent you hunting, so why are you here? You obviously look down on me.
Oof.
And then the ultimate public humiliation, 20 blows each.
For Miao Fu, it absolutely works. He is seething. He turns to Lu Zhengyan right after and says, Wang Yuan, that old villain humiliated us in the street. How can we ever get rid of this hatred?
Yeah.
But it shifts quickly, doesn't it? It's
No.
not just about revenge anymore.
No, not at all.
He immediately starts assessing the political landscape. Notes that General Yu Fei has retired home, Marshal Han Xizong is far away in Zhenjiang, and his conclusion is just chilling. Who in the whole court is there to fear?
Precisely, and that's the pivot point. Personal vendetta morphs into something far, far more dangerous. High-stakes political ambition. Miao Fu isn't just muttering about revenge now. He lays out a full-blown coup, explicitly. He says, I intend to gather our troops, kill that old villain Wang Yuan to vent this hatred, and then storm the palace, seize King Kang.
Just like that.
Just like that. And he adds, I'm sure none of the civil or military officials will dare to resist. We'll split the empire between us and share the riches. It's astonishingly direct.
And Lu Zhengyan, his partner in, well, crime and humiliation.
He's immediately on board, calls it an excellent plan.
No hesitation.
None. They agree to act that very night, and they stress, don't let the news leak, lest we ruin the great affair. Secrecy is everything.
It really shows how fast things can escalate, right? A public slight, feeling disrespected, and boom, you're plotting to overthrow the government.
It's terrifyingly quick.
So the plan is executed just as swiftly. That night, around the third watch. So, deep night, maybe midnight.
Yeah, about then.
Miao Fu and Lu Zhengyan gather their forces, torches blazing. They swarm Wang Yuan's residence. And this isn't a quiet raid, it's brutal, total.
Yeah.
They kill him, and over 90 members of his family.
90.
No survivors. Then they loot the place.
It's utterly ruthless. No witnesses, no loose ends. Their ambition is just laid bare in the sheer scale of that massacre. Then they turn their forces straight towards the imperial palace.
Right.
The imperial guards at the Meridian Gate are cut down. Emperor Gazong King Kang, he's terrified. The text says, shaking all over, panicked, hiding in the inner palace.
And this is where the story takes such a fascinating, unexpected turn.
Yeah.
As they storm the inner palace, probably expecting resistance or pleas for mercy, they're met by Lu Fei. And she's not just anyone. She's King Kang's new consort. And crucially, Lu Zhengyan's niece.
What a coincidence. Or maybe not.
Exactly. What an incredible connection at just the right moment.
It feels like more than coincidence, doesn't it? It's this pivotal moment of political opportunism. And what's so striking about Lu Fei, how she handles this, is that she immediately gets the real game.
She really does.
She doesn't beg, she doesn't denounce them. Instead, she calmly agrees with their complaints about Wang Yuan's arrogance and King Kang's, well, perceived incompetence. She says something like, Wang Yuan relied on his achievements, slighted the emperor, many ministers were unhappy. King Kang is dull, confused, it's hard for him to rule.
It's like she's validating their coup, subtly positioning herself as an ally.
Exactly, but then she pivots, and her advice is just chillingly pragmatic,
Yeah.
a masterclass in political maneuvering.
Okay, what does she say?
She tells them, don't kill the emperor. Instead, force him to abdicate. Give the throne to the crown prince.
Why? What's the logic there?
It's incredibly cold-blooded but smart. If King Kang is killed, he becomes a martyr. Loyalist forces might rally around his memory. But with a new, young emperor on the throne, someone like Yu Fei, who's currently retired in Tangyin with his very capable troops, he'd likely come to the capital, to offer congratulations, pay respects.
I see where this is going.
Precisely. And that, she argues, would be the perfect moment to behead him first to eliminate future troubles.
Wow, that is ruthless and brilliant in a dark way.
It's the real aha moment here, I think. Lu Fei's thinking long-term. Far beyond the initial power grab, she gets that raw force is fragile. Her genius is seeing that a seemingly legitimate transition, even a forced one, creates a much stronger foundation for control.
So it's not just about seizing power.
It's about keeping it. And eliminating threats under the cover of, well, protocol and welcome, she promises them peace of mind and control over all affairs under heaven.
And the rebels, Miao and Liu.
They're blown away, overjoyed. They call her words deeply reasonable. Miao Fu even promises to make her the empress. She's not just an advisor, she's basically orchestrating their entire regime change.
Using a hero's own loyalty against him, that's truly insidious.
It really is.
So with this new strategy, they draft a fake imperial decree. King Kang abdicates. And crucially, they summon Yu Fei back to the capital to assist the state,
Setting the trap.
hoping he'll walk right into it, all because of his unwavering sense of duty. Meanwhile, far away from all this palace chaos, we find Yu Fei. He's been in retirement in Tangyin. It's been peaceful, but also bittersweet. He'd recently married off his son, Yu Yun.
Right.
But then personal tragedy struck. His mother passed away.
A huge blow in that culture.
Absolutely. The text describes him as emaciated, wasted away from sorrow during his mourning period. He's just finished the period of filial piety, that intense mourning, seclusion, fasting. He's barely recovered emotionally and physically when all this starts unfolding.
And that contrast is so stark, isn't it? The empire's in turmoil, consumed by ambition, violence. But Yu Fei is dealing with this deep personal loss, focused on family, tradition. It really highlights his character, his priorities, beyond just being a general. And it makes his eventual return to booty feel even more significant.
Totally agree. The weight of that grief makes his response even more compelling.
Yeah.
Now, unbeknownst to the coup leaders, there's still loyalty within the court. Minister Zhu Shengfei sees what's happening.
A brave man.
He secretly sends his servant Zhu Yi all the way to Tangyin with a letter for Yu Fei, pleading for his help to rescue the emperor.
And that just raises the point, doesn't it? Even when power shifts violently, when it seems everyone's just looking out for themselves, there are those who remain loyal, who risk everything. Zhu Shengfei's secret message is a testament to that courage, going against that ruthless tide.
Yu Fei gets the letter and is, understandably, greatly astonished. He immediately stops his hunting trip, goes home. He carefully writes a reply to Zhu Shengfei, gives it back to Zhu with strict instructions. Be cautious. Do not leak the news.
He even gives Zhu Yi 20 taels of silver for the journey, a significant sum back then. Shows the urgency.
Yeah. Then he calls in two of his most trusted generals, Nu Gao and Ji King. He gives them a letter to take to Marshal Han Shizong in Renzhou. Their instructions are then to go on to Linnan, the capital, and carry out a plan to capture the rebels.
And his reasoning for sending them, it's all about loyalty and duty, isn't it?
Yeah.
He appeals directly to their shared past, their honor. He says, basically, I've eaten the emperor's salary. If there's trouble now and we don't go rescue him, future generations will call us disloyal and unrighteous.
It's a powerful appeal to their legacy, their honor, not just about the current ruler, but how history will see them. He knows what motivates them.
He does.
But Nu Gao, ever the character, he initially pushes back.
Yes?
He says, "Big brother, aren't we doing well here? Relaxed and free? Why bother with such busybody stuff? I'm not going."
It's such a wonderfully human moment, right? Even a legendary warrior after years of fighting just wants some peace and quiet.
Totally relatable.
Absolutely grounds these huge figures. Not everyone just leaps at the chance to save the empire, especially when they've finally found some comfort. And Yu Fei doesn't force him, does he? He appeals to that deeper sense of honor again, knows exactly the right button to push.
Right.
Though Yigo does make it clear he's coming back home after. He says, when we succeed, we will return home. Like, okay, I'll do it, but I have an exit strategy.
I love that. Fine, but I'm not staying. So, Nu Gao and Ji King set off, and the description of their journey is so vivid. Hearts busy as arrows, horses running like clouds. Real urgency now, despite Nu Gao's grumbling. Their first stop is Renzhou. Marshal Han Shizong's headquarters. As a prince now, it's an impressive place. But their heroic mission, already kind of tinged with Nu Gao's reluctance, hits this almost comical snag right at the gate.
Oh, yeah, this part.
A rude gate guard just dismisses them, utter disdain, says something like, "Big shot, huh? I don't care if you're some lord or just a stable hand. Doesn't care who they are." And Nu Gao, predictably, just explodes. Fury, threatens to force his way in.
It's almost absurd, but so believable, isn't it? Here they are, these famous generals, on a mission to save the emperor, and they're momentarily stopped by some petty guard with an attitude. It just highlights how even these grand historical moments can get tripped up by the smallest, most mundane obstacles.
A moment of frustration and, yeah, maybe dark humor.
Definitely.
Wow, what a roller coaster indeed.